Here's a simple truth I've discovered after years of study and experience. Success is not something you pursue, it's something you attract by the person you become. Money works the same way. You don't have to beg for it, chase it, or scheme for it. If you build yourself into a person of value, if you adopt the right disciplines, if you refine your philosophy, money starts showing up almost automatically. That's what we're going to talk about today, how to build yourself into the kind of person money trusts, respects, and chases down. Not because of luck, not because of shortcuts, but because you've mastered the fundamentals that attract wealth like gravity. Now, if you're ready, let's begin. When it comes to financial success, most people think the big breakthrough will come when they land a six-figure contract or hit some massive windfall. But the truth is, it rarely works that way. Money has a strange relationship with human behavior. It magnifies who you already are. If you're careless with $100, you'll be 10 times as careless with $10,000. If you're undisciplined with $1,000, you'll be disastrously undisciplined with $100,000. So the first secret to attracting more money is to manage what you already have, no matter how small it may seem right now. I remember when I first started out, I wasn't earning much at all. My mentor asked me one day, "How are you managing what you've got?" I thought, well, there's not much to manage. But he stopped me right there. He said, "If you're sloppy with a little, you'll be sloppy with a lot." That struck me hard. It taught me a lesson I never forgot. Wealth starts with stewardship, not income. If you learn to handle the small amounts with respect and precision, the larger amounts will begin to flow towards you because life rewards those who are ready for more. See, most people don't respect $5. They toss it away on coffee they didn't need or subscriptions they forgot about. They say, it's just a few bucks. But here's the reality, that attitude is a signal to the universe that you're not ready for more. Wealth doesn't chase the careless. It chases the disciplined. So the way you treat $5 determines how you'll handle $5,000. The person who says, it's just a small amount, will never become the person who says, wow, I can't believe how much is flowing into my accounts. Because the habits that repel wealth are built in the small transactions of everyday life. Now, I'm not saying you have to live miserably, but I am saying you need to develop the habit of awareness. Track your small expenses. Know where every dollar goes. It's not about being cheap. It's about being conscious. Consciousness with small sums creates capacity for larger ones. Every time you handle money big or small, you're setting a pattern for your future. When I started writing down my expenses, even when I had very little, I discovered something remarkable. I found leaks in my financial bucket. Small amounts here and there, mindlessly spent. I plugged those leaks, and guess what happened? I had more to save, more to invest, and more confidence in my own ability to grow wealth. That's when my relationship with money started to shift. I stopped chasing it, and it started coming toward me. Because the person who handles small amounts wisely becomes a magnet for bigger opportunities. Think of it like this. If you were going to lend someone $10,000, who would you choose? The person who's reckless with $100 or the person who treats $100 with the same respect as they would treat $10,000? The answer is obvious. And life works the same way. Opportunity flows to the prepared. Money gravitates toward the responsible. Success lands in the lap of the disciplined. So don't wait until you have more to get serious about wealth building. Get serious now. Start with what you have. Manage the small amounts first, because wealth doesn't come to those who hope, it comes to those who are ready. Money is like a shadow, it follows value. And value is created by service. If you want more money to chase you, you have to solve bigger problems for more people. That's the law of the marketplace. The size of your paycheck is directly related to the size of the problems you're willing to solve and the number of people you're willing to serve. It's as simple and as profound as that. When I was young, I used to ask, how can I make more money? But then my mentor taught me to change the question. He said, don't ask how to make more money, ask how to serve more people and serve them better. That shift in philosophy was a game changer for me. It changed the trajectory of my life. I stopped focusing on my own paycheck and started focusing on contribution. And something remarkable happened. The more I focused on helping others succeed, the more money started coming my way. You see, most people make the mistake of chasing money directly. But money is a byproduct. It's like applause for a job well done. It's the certificate of appreciation you get from the marketplace when you've made someone else's life better, easier, or more productive. If you want to earn more, serve more. If you want to earn faster, solve problems quicker. It's about finding a need and filling it, not just sitting around hoping the economy changes or waiting for a raise. Think about it like this. If you solve a small problem, you'll get paid a small fee. Solve a bigger problem, get a bigger fee. Solve a problem for one person, make one sale. Solve it for 10 people, make 10 sales. Solve it for 1,000 people, and now you're in business. That's how the wealthy think. They don't look for jobs, they look for opportunities to serve at scale. When I first started speaking, I wasn't making much. But then I thought, what if I could help more people in one room? What if I could teach principles that work not just for individuals, but for businesses, families, and entire communities? That's when things started to shift. I began solving bigger problems and my income multiplied. It wasn't magic, it was service. Ask yourself daily, who can I serve today? How can I make someone's life easier? How can I add value? It could be as simple as helping a colleague think through a challenge, or as complex as starting a business that solves a pain point for thousands. But the habit is the same. Service first, money second. Now, this philosophy isn't just for business owners. Even if you have a job, the person who solves more problems at work becomes more valuable. That's the person who gets promoted. That's the person who gets offered partnership. That's the person who becomes indispensable. And eventually, that's the person who has more money flowing toward them than they know what to do with. I once heard it said, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. And the way to get better is to get in the habit of solving problems. It trains your mind to think creatively, to anticipate needs, to serve without hesitation. The people who master this mindset never lack opportunities, because the world is filled with problems waiting to be solved. So if you want to attract more wealth, don't chase money, chase usefulness. Be the person who makes life better for others. Build a reputation for reliability, creativity, and care. When you do that, you won't have to worry about chasing money anymore. Money will come looking for you. Ideas are like sparks, they flash for a moment. But if you don't catch them and act quickly, they fade. The world is filled with people who have great ideas but never get around to doing anything about them. That's why the marketplace doesn't reward thinkers alone, rewards doers. Wealth is created not in just having ideas, but in executing them while the inspiration is still warm. I've met thousands of people who came up to me after seminars and said, I had that idea years ago. Well, so did 100 other people. The difference is someone else acted on it, and now they're wealthy. The truth is, ideas are free, but wealth is reserved for those who take action. An idea is like an unplanted seed. You can carry it in your pocket for years, but until you plant it, water it, and tend it, you'll never see a harvest. When a good idea hits you, capture it immediately. Write it down. Don't trust your memory. Memories fade fast, but ink lasts. Then refine it. Think through the idea. Sharpen the edges. And figure out the first small step you can take to bring it to life. But here's the real secret. Don't wait until everything is perfect. Perfection is the enemy of progress. If you wait for the stars to align, you'll die waiting. I remember when I got my first idea for teaching personal development. I thought, I'm not ready yet. I need to study more. I need to be more polished. But my mentor said, you don't need to know everything. You just need to share what you've learned so far. That gave me the courage to start teaching while I was still learning. And guess what? The very act of teaching made me better. Action was the missing piece. It's like this. When you have an idea, imagine it like a hot loaf of bread just out of the oven. If you wait too long, it gets cold and stale. But if you serve it fresh, people line up for it. The same is true for ideas. Strike while the iron is hot. The longer you wait, the colder the idea becomes, and pretty soon the enthusiasm fades and you talk yourself out of it. Don't let that happen. Some people say, "What if I fail?" Well, you might, but failure isn't the worst thing regret is. At least if you try and it doesn't work, you'll learn something. And often, what looks like failure is just feedback, showing you how to adjust and improve. The wealthy understand this. They act quickly on good ideas, learn from the process, and refine as they go. That's how they stay ahead of the curve. Look around you. Every successful product, service, or innovation started as an idea in someone's mind, but it didn't stay there. Someone had the courage to act, while others hesitated. Someone made the call, wrote the plan, launched the product, or knocked on the door. That's why the world remembers the doers, not the dreamers. So, the next time you have a good idea, don't wait for the perfect moment. Write it down, refine it, and take the first action step. Wealth begins in the mind, but is built in motion. Ideas without execution are just daydreams. But ideas in action, that's where fortunes are made. One of the fastest ways to lose money is to make decisions in the heat of emotion. It happens every day. People get excited and buy things they don't need, or they get fearful and sell investments at the worst possible time. Emotional decisions drain bank accounts faster than bad investments. That's why discipline is the great protector of wealth. Without discipline, even a fortune can vanish. With it, even modest income can grow into real prosperity. Let me tell you something I learned early on. Money is emotional, but managing money must be logical. That's the balance you have to master. I remember one time I walked into a dealership just to look at a new car. Now, I wasn't planning to buy a car that day, but the salesman was good. He said all the right things. Leather seats, shiny rims, monthly payments that sounded almost reasonable. For a moment, I could feel myself getting pulled in. My heart was saying, "Do it. You've worked hard. You deserve this." But my mentor's voice popped into my head and said, "Wait, never make a major financial decision on the spot. Sleep on it." So I went home, slept on it, and by morning, the emotional fog had lifted. I realized I didn't need the car. I needed to invest that money in my future. And that one moment of pause saved me thousands of dollars and probably years of regret. Wealthy people understand this. They pause before making big moves. They let the emotion cool off before the money moves out. If it's a good deal today, it'll be a good deal tomorrow. And if the deal can't wait, it probably isn't a deal that's a trap. That's why emotional control is part of financial intelligence. It's not just about knowing how to make money. It's about knowing how to keep it. Think of your mind as having two rooms, one for feelings and one for logic. When it comes to money, step into the logic room. Ask yourself, is this purchase necessary? Is this investment smart? What's the downside if I'm wrong? Can I afford to lose this money and still be okay? If the answer is no, then wait. Patience is profit. Sometimes people ask me, but what if I miss out on an opportunity because I hesitated? Well, better to miss one opportunity than to chase every shiny object and end up broke. The truth is, there will always be another opportunity. The marketplace isn't running out of ways to get rich, but it is filled with ways to go broke fast if you're not careful. So create a rule for yourself. No major financial decision without a 24-hour pause. Sleep on it. Review it in the morning with a clear mind. Talk to someone you trust. Run the numbers twice. Give logic the final say, not impulse. Most people don't lose money because of bad luck. They lose it because they let emotions run the show. Fear makes people sell when they should hold. Excitement makes people buy when they should wait. Discipline keeps you steady while everyone else panics. If you can master this one principle, pause before you purchase, think before you invest, you'll keep more of what you earn, grow more of what you keep, and protect the wealth you're building. That's the kind of habit that lets money stay with you instead of slipping through your fingers. One of the greatest secrets to financial success is simple, yet often overlooked. Keep learning. Wealthy people never stop learning. They understand that knowledge is more than power. It's the currency that multiplies money. The truth is, money follows knowledge, not luck. You can have the best idea or the biggest paycheck, but if you don't invest in your knowledge, that money will slip away. I remember when I first began my journey, I had very little money, but I committed to reading every book I could find on success, business, and personal growth. I listened to seminars, soaked up wisdom from those who had already walked the path, and applied what I learned. I quickly realized that knowledge compounds faster than money. Just like interest works to grow your savings, knowledge grows your ability to make smarter decisions, spot opportunities, and avoid costly mistakes. Think about it. When you learn about money, you don't just learn how to earn it. You learn how to keep it, grow it, and use it wisely. Financial education teaches you to understand investments, budgeting, taxes, and wealth protection. Business knowledge opens doors to entrepreneurship and creating value. Marketing skills help you sell yourself and your products better. Personal development boosts your mindset and resilience, which are crucial to navigate the ups and downs of wealth building. The marketplace rewards those who can offer more value, and you can only increase your value by increasing your knowledge. As you learn, you become more confident and creative. You start to see problems as opportunities to solve and ways to serve others better. This in turn draws money to you. Money is attracted to those who are prepared, those who know how to create, and those who can lead. You don't need to be a genius to succeed financially. You need to be a lifelong learner. Spend at least 30 minutes a day reading a book, listening to an audio program, or attending a seminar. Replace idle entertainment time with education. The small daily habit adds up to a lifetime of advantage. Learning also keeps you adaptable. The world is constantly changing new technologies, market shifts, and economic cycles. Those who stop learning get left behind. Those who stay curious and committed to growth always find a way forward. They create opportunities, even in difficult times. Remember, knowledge doesn't just help you earn more, it helps you keep more and grow more. It's the most valuable investment you can make, and it pays dividends for a lifetime. So, commit to becoming a student of wealth every day. The more you learn, the more the money will chase you. Keep learning, keep growing, and watch your wealth multiply. One of the most important lessons I've learned on the road to financial success is this: take action quickly, but compound slowly. Too many people get stuck waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect opportunity. They hesitate, overthink, or get paralyzed by fear. But the truth is, wealth favors the doers, those who move fast on good ideas. The moment an opportunity arises, you must act. Don't wait for permission or perfect conditions. Start that side project, make that investment, or begin learning that new skill today. I recall when I first considered investing in myself and my future. I didn't wait until I had a huge sum of money or a flawless plan. I took small, consistent steps. I signed up for seminars, bought books, and began applying what I learned. The key was starting immediate acting on what I knew while still learning. That initial momentum set me apart from many who dreamed but never moved. But here's the balance. While action must be swift, the results require patience. Wealth is not built overnight. It's grown slowly, steadily, and quietly through the power of compounding. Just like planting a tree, you water it and nurture it over time before it bears fruit. If you expect to get rich tomorrow because you took one action today, you'll be disappointed. But if you commit to a daily habit of disciplined work, smart investing, and personal growth, the results will accumulate and multiply. Think about compounding like rolling a snowball down a hill. At first, it's small and slow, but with consistent effort, the snowball grows larger and faster, gaining momentum. Your income, investments, and skills work the same way. The money you invest today earns returns, and those returns start earning returns. Your effort compounds into something far greater than the sum of its parts. This combination of fast action and slow growth is the secret to sustained wealth. Take the leap when opportunity calls, but don't rush the harvest. Stay patient, consistent, and committed. Trust the process, even when results aren't immediate. Remember, overnight success is often years in the making. The wealthy aren't lucky. They're disciplined in taking quick steps, but patient in waiting for the results to show. Adopt this mindset. Be a swift starter and a steady grower. Act now, then watch your wealth build over time. Making money feels thrilling, like winning the game. But if you want to build lasting wealth, you must learn to keep more of what you earn. This is where many stumble. They focus all their energy on making money, but forget that wealth is just as much about defense as it is about offense. You can earn a fortune, but if you don't guard it carefully, it slips through your fingers like water. One of the first steps to defending your wealth is to track every dollar you spend. Many people have no idea where their money goes, and that's a costly mistake. When you don't know your outflow, you can't control it. I always encourage people to become experts at watching their spending habits. Identify the leaks, the small, repeated expenses that drain your finances. That daily coffee, those impulse buys, subscriptions you barely use, these add up and can sabotage your progress. Saving aggressively is another vital strategy. Don't just save what's left over. Save first, then spend. Make saving a non-negotiable habit. Even if it starts small, the discipline of consistently putting money aside protects you from future financial storms. It creates a safety net and builds your fortress, brick by brick. Protecting your assets means more than just saving. It means understanding insurance, taxes, and legal protections. It means avoiding unnecessary debt and being cautious with risky investments. Defense is about putting shields around your money so it can grow without being eroded by avoidable losses. Think of your wealth like a fortress. You need strong walls to keep out the storms. You can't win battles if your home base is always under attack. So build your defenses diligently as you pursue offense. When you guard your money with as much care as you chase new opportunities, you set yourself up for true financial success. Remember, wealth isn't just about making money. It's about keeping money and doing both well. This balance is the cornerstone of lasting prosperity. Money is more than just numbers in your bank account. It's a story you tell yourself every day. Most people carry invisible scripts about money stories passed down from childhood, from family, from culture, that shape their financial reality without them even realizing it. If your story says, money is scarce, or rich people are greedy, or I'll never be able to get ahead, then your actions will mirror those beliefs. You'll unconsciously push money away, sabotage opportunities, or hesitate to take the steps needed to grow financially. Changing your financial story is not just about wishful thinking. It's about rewiring your mind to see money differently. It's about recognizing that money is neither good nor bad. It is a tool. A tool for freedom, for growth, and for contribution. When you see money as a means to live the life you want, help others, and build a secure future, your behavior begins to change naturally. Start by becoming aware of the stories you tell yourself. Listen to your inner dialogue about money. Is it full of limitation or abundance? Next, deliberately rewrite those stories. Speak affirmations that empower you. For example, money flows to me easily, or I am worthy of wealth, or I use money to make a positive impact. When you change your beliefs, your actions inevitably follow. You begin to take risks, seek knowledge, save diligently, and invest wisely. I remember when I first realized that my mindset around money was holding me back. It was a painful but necessary shift to see money as a tool to create value, not something to fear or avoid. Once that shift happened, doors opened. Opportunities I never thought possible appeared, simply because my mind was ready to receive them. Your financial story is the foundation on which all your money decisions are built. Change that story, and you change your destiny. Wealth begins in the mind, and when you choose to believe in abundance and possibility, money will start chasing you. Time is the most powerful force in the world when it comes to building wealth. It can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy, depending on how you use it. I've seen many people waste years waiting for the perfect moment to start saving, investing, or building a business, only to find that time slipped away and their dreams remained just that, dreams. Wealth isn't built overnight. It's the result of small, consistent actions taken over time. The rich understand this deeply. They don't wait for a windfall or a big break. They start planting seeds early and allow time to work its magic. Compound interest, compound skills, and compound relationships are the three engines of financial growth, and all of them need time to multiply. I recall when I first began to understand the power of time. It wasn't my big paycheck or a lucky deal that made the difference. It was consistent saving, learning, and investing over many years. Even modest efforts, repeated regularly, began to snowball. The key is to start now, even if your first step seems small or insignificant. Every day you delay, you are losing a valuable asset that no one can buy back, time. But every day you begin, you add momentum to your financial journey. Don't be intimidated by the size of your goals. Be encouraged by the power of time to grow whatever you start. Time rewards patience and persistence, so make it your ally, not your enemy. Remember, the sooner you start, the more your money will grow, your knowledge will deepen, and your opportunities will multiply. Plant those seeds today, nurture them with consistent effort, and soon enough, the results will start chasing you. Comparison's one of the greatest thieves of peace and progress. I've noticed it many times in myself and in others that when we constantly look around to see what everyone else is doing, we lose sight of our own journey. The broke chase status symbols, trying to keep up with the Joneses, spending money to impress people they hardly know, and measuring success by how they appear to others. This chase drains energy and distracts from the real work that builds lasting wealth. The wealthy don't live by comparison, they live by growth. Their focus is inward and forward. They understand that wealth is a personal journey and the only person they need to compete with is who they were yesterday. This mindset is liberating because it puts control back in your hands. Instead of trying to outshine others, you aim to outgrow yourself. Instead of chasing fleeting approval, you chase consistent progress. Compounding is the silent giant behind financial success. It's not flashy or loud. It works quietly and patiently in the background. When you focus on your own financial growth, saving regularly, investing wisely, learning continuously, you are activating this powerful force. The key is discipline and patience. Let your money grow, let your skills compound, and let your habits accumulate. Over time, these small wins become an unstoppable wave that propels you forward. I remember early on in my own journey how tempting it was to look around and feel inadequate. But when I shifted my focus from comparison to compounding, everything changed. The energy I saved from not chasing status was poured into creating value, building assets, and improving myself. The results were far greater than any approval from others. So, stop comparing yourself to others. Put your head down, stay committed to your goals, and trust the power of compounding. It will quietly do the heavy lifting while you keep moving forward. Wealth is not about racing others, it's about racing your own potential, one steady step at a time. Failure is not the enemy of success, it is the tuition you pay for it. Early in my own life, I faced setbacks that could have easily stopped me cold. I lost money, made poor decisions, and felt the sting of defeat more times than I care to count. But what I learned, what made all the difference was this: failure is not final unless you let it be. It's part of the journey, part of the process of building wealth and becoming a better version of yourself. The wealthy don't avoid failure, they embrace it as a teacher. Every loss, every mistake, every bad investment holds a lesson if you're willing to see it. The key is to be honest with yourself. Write down what went wrong. Analyze the choices that led there. Ask, quote, what can I do differently next time? Quote, this habit turns failure into fuel. It converts setbacks into stepping stones. In fact, the wealthy often move faster than others because they learn faster. When you treat failure as an expected part of your education, you reduce the fear that holds most people back. You become resilient. You understand that a failed investment or a bad decision is simply feedback, not a verdict on your worth or potential. I've kept journals where I recorded my failures alongside the lessons they taught me. This practice not only sharpened my insight, but built my confidence. I knew that no matter the setback, I had the ability to adjust and keep moving forward. So, if you want money to start chasing you, start viewing failure differently. Don't shrink from it or run from it. Lean in, learn, adjust, and repeat. Wealth is built on persistence as much as it is on profit. The difference between the rich and the broke isn't the absence of failure, it's the presence of relentless learning. In the pursuit of wealth, the ability to say no is just as important as the ability to say yes. You see, every opportunity that comes your way isn't necessarily your opportunity. Not every business idea, not every deal, not every invitation fits into your path toward financial success. The people who struggle financially often say yes to everything. They get distracted chasing every shiny object, every quick fix, every too good to be true offer. That's a sure way to scatter your energy and scatter your resources. Wealthy people understand that focus is a form of discipline. Saying no to distractions, to temptations, and to unproductive engagements is how you protect your time and your money, the two most valuable assets you have. I've often said that your calendar is your budget. Guard it with the same vigilance as you guard your wallet. When you say no to distractions, you're saying yes to the things that really matter. Building assets, investing in yourself, nurturing relationships that add value, and consistently working toward your goals. This means you might have to turn down social invitations that don't align with your priorities. You might have to say no to impulse purchases that steal your savings. You might have to decline opportunities that look exciting but don't fit your strategy. It's not about being closed off. It's about being selective. Saying no isn't rejection, it's redirection towards something better. I remember early on I was overwhelmed by offers and requests that pulled me every which way. It wasn't until I started protecting my focus, writing down my priorities, saying no to everything that wasn't aligned, that I made real progress. Your ability to say no today creates the space for saying yes to wealth tomorrow. If you want money to chase you, protect your focus fiercely. Learn to say no so you can say yes to what truly matters. Guard your calendar and your wallet with equal care, and watch how your life and your bank account transform. Comfort is a seductive thief that quietly steals your dreams while you're distracted by ease. It's the soft, cozy place where many choose to linger, telling themselves that they've earned rest, that things are good enough, or that change can wait. But let me tell you something from hard experience. Growth, true growth, never lives in comfort. It lives beyond it. If you want money to start chasing you, if you want to unlock the doors to financial freedom, you have to learn to be uncomfortable on purpose. I've seen many people settle for comfort, the familiar job, the steady paycheck, the same old routine, and wonder why their bank account stays stagnant. Comfort feels safe, but it comes with a price. Lost opportunity, missed challenges, and the slow death of ambition. On the other hand, the wealthy are willing to walk into discomfort because they know that growth demands it. They're constantly learning new skills, taking calculated risks, and pushing past their limits. They read books, attend seminars, and seek mentorship not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. In my own journey, I recall times when I had to step into uncomfortable situations, starting a business with little money, speaking in front of crowds despite fear, investing in uncertain markets. Those moments felt tough, but they were the very moments that propelled me forward. The discomfort was temporary, but the growth was permanent. The wealthy don't avoid discomfort. They welcome it as a sign that they're moving in the right direction. Comfort is the enemy of progress. If you want money to pursue you, you must chase growth relentlessly, even when it feels uncomfortable. It's about choosing long-term gains over short-term ease. So, when you feel the pull to settle, remind yourself that wealth and life are built in the challenge zone, outside the comfort bubble. Growth is uncomfortable, but that's where your future awaits. If you want financial success, step out of your comfort zone today. Embrace the challenges, seek the unknown, and watch how money starts to chase you because you chose growth over ease. Generosity is one of the most powerful forces in the universe, especially when it comes to wealth. It's a truth I've witnessed countless times in my life. When you give freely, you signal to the world that you live from a place of abundance, not scarcity. Giving isn't just about handing over money, it's about sharing your time, your resources, your wisdom, and your energy with others. This act of contribution creates a powerful flow, opening doors and inviting opportunities you never imagined. I remember early in my career when I was struggling financially. I didn't have much to give in terms of money, but I had something just as valuable: knowledge and encouragement. I began mentoring others, sharing what little I knew, and offering support. To my surprise, doors started to open. People came back to me with opportunities, partnerships, and ideas that fueled my growth. That's the secret. Generosity is a magnet. When you help enough people get what they want, you don't have to chase money. It will chase you. This isn't some vague feel-good philosophy. It's a practical strategy rooted in the laws of nature and human psychology. Abundance grows when you create value for others. By giving, you create trust, goodwill, and relationships that multiply your wealth far beyond what you could achieve alone. So, whether it's mentoring, volunteering, donating, or simply offering a kind word, make generosity a daily habit. It keeps your mindset focused on abundance, breaks the chains of scarcity thinking, and aligns you with a higher level of prosperity. Remember, wealth is not just about accumulation, it's about contribution. Give generously and watch how the universe returns the favor in ways you never expected. When you give from abundance, money will start chasing you. As we come to the close of this conversation about wealth, success, and the principles that truly move the needle, I want you to take a moment to reflect on what you've heard today. Not just the words, but the spirit behind them. The journey to financial freedom is not a sprint, and it's certainly not a game of luck. It's a steady climb built on discipline, mindset, action, and generosity. It's a path walked by those who understand that wealth is less about the numbers in your bank account and more about the philosophy you live by every single day. The truth is, money will start chasing you only when you become the kind of person money wants to follow. That means building habits that serve you, thinking bigger than your current circumstances, and showing up consistently with both urgency and patience. It means learning to manage even the smallest amounts wisely, because small disciplines grow into big fortunes. It means focusing on service and creating value for others, because wealth is a byproduct of solving problems and improving lives. And it means acting quickly on your ideas, because execution, not just dreaming, is the birthplace of income. But even as you take fast action, remember to build patiently. Wealth is like a tree. It grows slowly, but steadily, and its fruits multiply over time. Be diligent in saving, investing, and protecting what you earn. Keep learning, growing, and sharpening your skills. Replace distractions with focus, and avoid emotional decisions that sabotage your progress. And above all, practice gratitude and generosity, for these are the keys that unlock abundance beyond money. When you give freely, you open channels for wealth to flow back to you in unexpected and often greater ways. This path will not be easy. There will be setbacks, failures, and moments when doubt creeps in. But failure is not the end, it's a teacher. Every mistake is a lesson to be learned and an opportunity to get stronger. The wealthy don't avoid failure. They use it as fuel to move forward. So, keep a journal of your lessons, reflect on your progress, and adapt your strategies. Stay humble as you grow rich, and remember that wealth without personal growth is poverty in disguise. Now here's the call to action I want to leave you with. Begin right now to live intentionally. Write down your financial goals with clarity and conviction. Decide how much you will save, invest, and give, and commit to those numbers like they are non-negotiable appointments with your future self. Build a written plan for your money and your time, because untracked progress is no progress at all. Surround yourself with mentors and people who push you to think bigger and move faster. Start small if you must, but start. Take that first step on your side business, that first dollar invested, that first moment spent learning something new. Do not wait for perfect conditions. The perfect moment to begin is now. Use what you have where you are and move forward with faith that your consistent effort compounds into extraordinary results. Discipline yourself to say no to distractions and yes to growth. Protect your energy and your focus as fiercely as you protect your money. Know that the process will test your patience and your resolve, but hold firm, because the greatest rewards come to those who stay in the game long enough to win. Finally, never lose sight of the bigger picture. Wealth is not just about comfort or security, it's about the legacy you leave behind. Think beyond your lifetime and build something meaningful, a business, a family tradition, a body of knowledge, or a community impact that outlasts you. When you grow rich in wisdom, character, and contribution, your wealth becomes truly unstoppable. So go forward today with courage and clarity. Commit to your personal and financial growth. Make discipline your daily habit. Serve others with heart and purpose. Take action on your best ideas. Learn from every setback and give generously. When you do this, I promise you money will start chasing you. The road to financial freedom isn't a mystery reserved for a lucky few. It is open to anyone willing to change their philosophy, embrace discipline, and move with purposeful action. Your future is waiting. Step into it with boldness and resolve. The wealth you desire is within reach, and it begins with the decisions you make right now. Make those decisions count. Now, go build your legacy